Now then, people, and welcome back to the Just Joe Football Show and the start of a brand new week. It's Monday, the 7th of August, and another step closer towards that transfer window closing. And I've got a feeling that this week will be a busy week. If it isn't, it needs to be, best believe, because of course, Cooper went off injured yesterday and was still light in a number of areas, and Daniel Farker was mirroring exactly my thoughts after the game as well. Remember, we will be going through yesterday's 2-2 draw with Cardiff in minutiae detail with the final word crew, which will be live at 8 o'clock tonight. But this is a quick update on everything concerning Leeds United and, of course, the transfer window. Without further ado, we will discuss it. But before we do, please smash a like on the video, subscribe to the channel, get your comments in, and of course hit that notification bell. We are so close to 22k right now, and you know, this season I'm thinking we hit 30. But enough of that, let's get into it.
I don't
Kane, it's 1-0. We're fucking down. 13th in the championship. The takeover happened as I said it would. People will be, oh, when have we got Leeds? Bloody hell, I can't lie, I'm a bit dizzy after that, folks. Listen, I hope you're all doing well. As I said right at the start, I'll stop repeating myself now. It's looking clean. The sound's improved, because I know you had a few issues yesterday on that watch along. Make sure you check out the YouTube short as well. The game is leveling up. Listen, first of all, let's talk about Tyler Adams, the USA men's national team captain and probably the only American player that actually Leeds fans rated this past season or so. Sorry, Brendan, Weston, whoever, Donald, whoever you want. You know, it is what it is.
I don't like losers. But
the facts are Tyler Adams enamoured himself with the Leeds United faithful. Look, disappointed he will be leaving. Expected it, really, especially when we found out about the release clause. What does it do, though, for Tyler Adams' future now as a player that Leeds United fans liked? Because he's obviously going to Chelsea. Chelsea, we have a long-standing rivalry. It's all the way back to the 70s in the FA Cup, and what was earmarked as the most violent FA Cup game ever, really. Yeah, no love lost between the two sides, between the fans and, of course, the players. They're always a feisty affair as well. By the way, I've put a link in the description to LUFC Lewis's video covering this exact game. The most brutal match in English football history. A lot of the younger viewers won't realise this, but of course we've had many battles down the years. I remember Gus Poyet saying it was one of the toughest games he played in and enjoyed. We had the Battle of the Bridge, and of course, like I said, the 70s FA Cup game, which I believe was re-refed at one point, and they said there'd be like 15 cards and about 4 red cards. It's a madness. It's a madness. So this is deep-rooted. So what does that mean? I want to know your thoughts in the comments if Tyler Adams does leave. I think a lot of, you know, time has passed, and maybe the rivalry between the fan bases isn't as fierce, especially with the younger generation. It still is. We still sing about Chelsea on a regular basis. And they sing about us, of course. Let's not forget, this isn't a one-way street. I mean, do we care enough? Do you care enough? Has Tyler Adams been here long enough for us to care that much? As long as he's, you know, not kissing the Chelsea's badge and giving it to us when we do return back to the Premier League, I guess, look, it is what it is. It's for me, it'd almost be the final closing of the chapter, if you like, of that fateful season where Victor Orta was just let off the leash and absolutely made just a mockery of Leeds United's transfer business. That past year, especially when you consider the fallout from it now with the release clauses and, you know, the loan clauses, it will go down in history as one of the worst seasons for me. It is brutal, really. But look, initially when these leaks came out, I was a bit like, top 6, Chelsea? Is he really of that level? If you ask him to do a specific job, yes, he can. I don't think he's nowhere near the level of a Moses Caicedo, for example, but I think this is an additional transfer on top of Caicedo, and for 20 million, it's a no-brainer for any side, really. He's, like I say, USA men's national team captain, played in the Champions League for Leipzig and done well in the Premier League and shown that he can mix it And like I say, if he's been given a defensive job to do, he will do just that. And at 20 million, it's a snip. And like I say, it's getting all the top tier journos now giving it the rubber stamp. The likes of Fabrizio, our very own Phil here, and of course, the Athletic have picked it up. I think a lot of Leeds fans felt that the injury, I don't know why there's this running notion between fans that apparently you can't pass a medical if you're injured, as long as it's not like life-threatening or something that's going to make you be out for season on seasons, you can still get through a medical. So that's not going to be a problem. And we heard from Daniel Farke in the presser to Cardiff's game that he was back training. He just wasn't ready to play a match yet. So on the grass, if you like. So he's ready to go. And for 20 million, it makes sense that if Leeds United are then going to reinvest that money, I'm okay with it. Ampadu offers us more, which is wild to think that he actually exited Chelsea. But the facts are Leeds United are in a position where we need to sell in order to buy. I think at the start of this new ownership, we all felt that wasn't the case. But if you don't know, you need to get to know that there isn't that much money in the coffers, if you like. And maybe that's due to FFP, profit and sustainability. But Leeds United are not able to be as free spending and as aggressive as Parag would have us believe. Daniel Farke spoke about it in his post-match presser, basically saying we have to make smart moves due to the financial situations because it's more or less no money incoming due to the exit clauses that, of course, Victor Orta and co. Had us lined up. The situation is what it is, as he continues to say and says, we will not mourn. We've just got to get on with it. Happy with the goalkeeper depth. Happy with the acquisition of Ampadu. But aside from goalkeeper, we need depth all over the pitch, right? Which means with Adams leaving, we're still going to need a midfielder in there too, in fact, creative and physical one, as Daniel's told us himself. But I guess right now, the position that needs the most surgery is centre-back because, of course, yesterday, Liam Cooper scored a goal that got us back into the game yesterday. And that's a good knock.
Ball curls in. Cooper!
But in doing so, injured himself, which means really we only have two fully fit centre-backs in Pascal Struijk and Charlie Creswell. They're both very young. They clearly have quality, but we need some extra bodies in there, maybe even two. Nat Phillips has been mentioned on a number of occasions, but the most recent name has been Greek centre-back, who's currently playing at AZ Alkmaar, and I'm going to butcher this. Hatzidakos. Pantilios Hatsakidos. But if you were paying attention, folks, and listening intently, we've heard this name before.
Hatzidakos AZ Alkmaar, Greek defender, is like a unit, basically.
My days. Is there any footballer these lads do not know? It's insane. They need to be employed by the football club. Forget a football club. By Leeds United. Now, just on the centre-back situation, I'm led to believe that the interest is real in Pantelis, and we are going to call him that from now on. Actually, no, scrap that. Pantelis doesn't work, does it? And I'm just going to keep butchering his last name. So let's just go with the Greek man. I'm led to believe on some pretty reliable information. Someone who was at the game yesterday was pretty well connected. I don't need to defend this person or me relaying this information. You either take it as gospel or you don't. But I'm led to believe that the interest in the three centre-backs of Harwood, Bellis, Nat Phillips and the Greek man are genuine from Leeds United. Not sure a bid's been accepted as reports would have you believe on the Greek man. But on Nat Phillips, first and foremost, apparently Liverpool have stalled on that deal. They're unsure yet who they're going to be selling and therefore acquiring at centre-back. They have Joe Gomez, they have Kanate, they have Matip and Van Dijk. But listen, Matip's injured a lot. He could be on his way to Saudi. Joe Gomez, do they want to move him on? Does that mean there's a place as a backup for Nat Phillips? Who knows? But for me, Nat Phillips needs to make a decision and say to Liverpool, boyhood club or not, I need to go make game time. And the links to Howard Bellis as well. I genuinely thought this was just codswallop. At the end of the day, like for me, 15 million seems out of our price range. Apparently the interest was genuine. Leeds wanted a loan with an option to buy if they were promoted. However, City have stalled on that and said, no, we'll offer a sale, but we want a buyback clause sticking in there, which we've seen them do with a lot of deals over the last 12 months. Carlos Borges, James Trafford, and of course, Romeo Lavia. Now, his buyback clause doesn't actually come in till next year, hence why a lot of clubs now are trying to get in there. They never envisaged Southampton would go down, right? That's why Liverpool, etc., are trying to get him done before City's buyback clause comes into action. Now, just on the Greek man, listen, I don't know an awful lot about him. If I was to list in order of who I would want, it would be Howard, Wood Bellis, Nat Phillips, then the Greek. However, we will speak on Pantelis with Andrea on the next episode of Late Night Leeds. But he's played over 200 times in the Eredivisie, he's played in the Europa Conference League, has goals and assists, and can be got for around about 2.5 to 3 million. Seems like a no-brainer. And if Leeds United are serious about him, then go get it done. Because for me now, we can't be waiting around. We're so light in that area. Tyler Adams to Chelsea looks like it's a goer. That's going to bring in capital. So let's not mess about and go bring in that centre-back that we need. 2 centre-backs at this stage being fit, it's not good enough. Look, not loads of information, not loads of meat on the bones. We already know that the 49ers and current ownership like to move in silence. But one thing's for sure, I believe it'll be a very busy week at Leeds United, because for me, we need at least 2 in by next weekend when we play Birmingham City. Of course, on Wednesday, we've got Shrewsbury. I'm not sure what lineup we're going to put out. It'll have to be the same because we've hardly got any squad numbers. We've got 16, remember, that trained ahead of Cardiff. But we need some extra additions, definitely at centre-back, potentially at left-back, and you could move Byram out to right-back. Definitely need a replacement now for Adams, a creative force, because the wingers maybe held on to it too much, carried it too much, went down too easy, etc., etc. And of course, we need a centre forward, because there'll have been times where if we had a focal point in attack, whip them balls in, get heads on, and we probably win that game yesterday. But listen, we'll discuss that game in more detail tonight on The Final Word live at 8 o'clock. Before you do leave, smash a like on the video, subscribe to the channel, get your comments in, hit that notification bell, and hopefully you've enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in a bit.